What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of video games, we're going to be checking out that fresh fire that everybody's talking about and jumping on. Today we're going to be taking a look at Helldivers 2. Normally we cover indie games on this channel, but given the relative popularity of the game, I figured I would just kind of gift my 10 or 11 hours I've spent playing the game at this point to help you guys figure out whether or not this is a title you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's a title you ultimately want to pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourselves, it is available down below in the description. I will have a link for you. On top of that, I will also have links to my Discord and my Twitch stream so that you can check those on out. So let's dive on into it and let's dispense freedom upon the land. What is Helldivers 2? Helldivers 2 is a cooperative PvE game about a fictitious army that's a lot like the Imperial Guard that's fighting all throughout space against various threats, cyborgs, bugs, that kind of stuff, in order to spread democracy. In this game, you'll be part of a 4-man team that deploys down onto the planet in semi-open world format to go and fight with the bugs, to wipe them out, and to see if you can complete your mission in order to stack up various currencies and various crafting materials that you'll use in order to upgrade a destroyer, which is kind of like the hub area where you select your missions. And then on top of that, it will also allow you to unlock new weaponry, work your way down a season pass, and ultimately make your character much stronger than they were previously. What you're seeing right now on screen, I have dropped onto a planet called Heath, which is obviously legally distinct from the Disney-owned entity, Hoth. It's a snow planet. It sucks here. It's really cold, and my fingers have been numb ever since I joined the Corps. While we're down on this planet, we're going to be looking for a communication uplink so that we can evacuate citizens from this area, because the planet is rapidly in the process of falling, but not if we have anything to say about it. So let's go ahead and dip on in. It looks like we got some bugs over here that need to be taken care of. I forgot to swap my loadout, so right now I am using an SMG, a high-powered SMG, but nonetheless, not a weapon that's super to my liking from what I've tried so far. Oof, that airstrike right there was a juicy one. We've got a bug breach. The bugs can erupt from the ground at any time. They have kind of like a little emote that I think they have a percentage chance of doing. And if they do the emote, it's going to go ahead and summon up about 100 bugs that you're going to have to deal with for like the next 10 to 15 minutes, depending on whether or not they summon in the big heavies like that guy right there. That can be a real nightmare. Let me see if I can help this situation out. I'll put a machine gun over there. You do have a bunch of tools at your disposal, not just guns and grenades and things of that nature, but you also have these things called stratagems that you can call down from the sky. Oh my goodness gracious, he came in for a hug. All right, didn't expect him to come in for a hug, but come in for a hug he did, and that's why it's good to have a handy-dandy jump pack. At the beginning of the mission, when you select your loadouts, you are going to be able to pick between these stratagems. For right now, I'm playing around with some new stuff. I've got like a Gatling turret that I can drop. I've got a jump pack. I've got a number of airstrikes that I can call in on the enemy. Looks like we got a whole bunch of baddies over here that we're going to have to deal with. Can't see through the fog, though, unfortunately, in order to get after them. They wiped out my turret, huh? Oh, no, my turret's still kind of up. Still like kind of sort of doing its thing. We're gonna need a resupply. Ammo is limited in this game. Oh my goodness gracious, my own turret almost lasered my face off. Friendly fire is a big aspect of this game. Don't get salty when you get killed. Everyone in the Corps is replaceable. This game fully leans into the satire of Warhammer 40k, so that everybody is equally worthless. If your character dies, just respawn, jump back in. And one thing I actually like about the game is that when you respawn, it's completely and totally random whether or not you are male or female, which sort of, I guess, reinforces that fact that you are nobody here, and you're not supposed to get attached to your character because your character may die at any moment. As of right now, we're terminating an illegal propaganda broadcast. This is a fascist dictatorship that we're a part of that screams things like freedom while they mag dump their 249s at the enemy. You'll get into the satire of it soon enough. You have a salute emote that you can play around with right there. Our man over here on the console is doing a mini game in order to attune this antenna and turn it off. There are little quick time events and little things you have to do in order to complete the objectives. And for each objective and sub-objective you complete, you get requisition coupons. And then on top of that, you will also get XP for your character to level up, which will unlock new things for you to play around with. It looks like everybody's interested in going after a bug nest here. So I'm just going to throw an eagle over there. I don't know if I overthrew or I underthrew, but we may want to back up. Oh, airburst? Yeah, we want to get out of here. I mean, the airstrike was effective. Airburst bombs are coming down. You probably want to, stay away from that area over there. And as you can see, friendly fire events do happen in this game, which is why I like to get real clear of the areas that are a problem. But there's a bug nest over here, and we've got a task to take it out. So I'm going to take it out. Let's go ahead and jump pack on in. This is why I like being the jump pack guy in the squad. There are no limits on equipment or anything else like that. Everybody can have a jump pack if they want it. You can go ADS as well. The game gives you an option. So the previous game was tethered isometric. And so if you never played the first game, I dumped hundreds of hours into it. The first game was top-down in view, but you were tethered to your teammates in that view, so the camera was kind of limited. That was always the great weakness of the first Helldivers game, is just that the camera could sometimes choose to focus on a player who should not have been the focal point of the combat. This game disposes with that. By making it so everybody's in full third-person mode. You can go ADS if you want, and in fact, there are benefits to going ADS. You are much more accurate, and you have way better recoil control. The game has gyroscopic aiming, which takes a little bit of time to get used to. You see that circle right there? Basically, that's like the jitter and how focused your aim is on the point that you're going. It'll move around on you while you're fighting with enemies. ADS dispenses with that entirely, and you effectively have perfect aim. And so there's going to be a time for hip firing. There's going to be a time for aiming down scopes if you wanted to. There are a lot of weapons that make use of various things like, sniper rifles, anti-material rifles, things like that you're definitely going to want to be down scope all the time. See if I can help them out a little bit with their bug problem. There we go. Give them a little bit of the old exterminator fluid. Ammo is in short supply in this game. You're going to have to get used to it. When you reload prematurely and you still have a half mag left, you lose that mag. So keep that in mind. I think we've probably got a really good excuse here to bomb that out. I don't know if I have that Joe Montana arm on me, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. A little bit of air support always helps out before you breach an area. It looks like that one was a little bit short, unfortunately. Aliens are coming back this way. Let's go ahead and we'll get a turret down right there, and I'm going to hold for the turret for just a second till it drops, because the enemy can destroy said turret. We do have Big Dog over here trying to breathe some acid on us, Starship Troopers style. Let's just leave the turret to do its grim work and wipe these guys on out. Is this a supply pod right here? It is not a supply pod, it's a turret. Okay. Turret's just as good. Turret saves me ammo just like anything else. There are various types of bugs, and in fact, there are various types of enemy armies in this game you're going to be going up against. From what I've seen in the last day or two of playing the title, there are cyborgs. I find them to be incredibly thrilling to play as. I actually really like playing against the cyborgs. It's very tactical because they shoot back, and then on top of that, they also have like interesting armor points that if you shoot them off, it rewards good play. We got some free medals right there inside that pod. Medals are used for progressing your weaponry and also your cosmetics. We got a lot of orbital strikes and things flying around, and that makes me feel exceptionally nervous. The graphics in this game are stunning. They look incredible. The frame rate has been flawless for me, but then again, I have a very good computer due to the fact that I'm a streamer for a living, and so I would definitely check the specs on this one before you purchase it to make sure we got friendly fired. It's okay, airburst bombs, man. They don't much care about the fact that your character is in the way, and so we're reinforcing right now. I'm going to try to land somewhere around where my gear was because I don't want to summon in more requisition and supply. I don't know exactly where I went down at. We got samples over here, so that's probably where I went down at. Well, there's a dead Helldiver over here. Samples are used for upgrading your spaceship. Upgrading your spaceship allows you to purchase new weapons. It also decreases your cooldowns and effectively just makes you a better Helldiver, period. This is a big departure from the first game, or departure from the first game. There's no I in that word. But it's a big departure from the first game in the respect that in the first game you used your samples to upgrade your weapons directly. Oh, nice. More medals, dude. We're going to be kitted out like a North Korean general by the time... I don't want to throw that. I cancel that. I need my jump pack back. We'll grab that right there. I like the jump pack because it gives me mobility, but in this game it's actually for effectively metagame upgrades that make you stronger. There are little points of interest all over the map. Those points of interest will have things like the medals we just picked up. Sometimes if you get lucky, you will get paid currency. This game does come with a cash shop, I'm still debating the fairness of the cash shop. I'm still of the opinion that a $40 game that I just purchased should have no cash shop, and I should be able to unlock all of the things straight from the beginning with my $40 purchase. I'm okay with little tiny like $5 cosmetic packs, like something like Deep Rock Galactic has, if the developers have proved that they're going to follow up and add a lot of content to the game. As of right now, this title's only been out for 1 day, so it's impossible to tell, but the first game was supported long term. There is a paid, I guess, season pass that you can get. People are complaining about it a lot because it does have some cool weapons inside of it, which effectively means that you're paywalled. However, given the fact that you can get in-game currency in-game, or paid currency in-game, over the course of the last 24 hours, I've played the game about 12 hours, and I think I've gotten about 100, 130 of the paid currency just playing missions and finding it in item boxes and things like that. The season pass itself costs $10, so you will have to debate the efficacy of that yourself, or at least the attractiveness of that system. There is paid stuff in the game, and cool stuff is locked behind it. However, through playing the game and grinding, you can unlock the paid track. So it's one of those like morally gray areas for me where I'm like, at least they gave you some way to do it, but I would still prefer it not be there. What are we doing right now? What's our mission? We got a big hive that's over and off that way. We got to pump some oil down there. I should probably regather up with my team. The music is playing right now very, very intensely, which leads me to believe that there may still be enemies around. The game does have kind of like an AI dynamic soundtrack, a la something that you would watch in the cinema. Let me see if I can nail this right here. It might be overthrown. Oh, underthrown, actually. Okay, should have aimed a little higher. Unfortunate, didn't kill anything. All it did was wake up the enemy. We'll throw that out to there, and then I will start desperately mag dumping things and hoping they die right around the area where the airstrike is going to come in, and it looks like we got them. So second try was the charm there. I'm going to go check this point right here, see if it's got anything useful inside of it, maybe anything unlockable, things like currency. I try to make, the game really wants you, there's a reason why the mission durations are like 40 minutes for most of it. And it's because they want you to tool around the map. They want you to go look at the points of interest. They want you to look around for goodies and Easter eggs and lore and stuff like that. So right here, it looks like this location was mostly the bearer. Can I mount that right there? There we go. It looks like this area was mostly the bearer of a rare material. We'll go ahead and turn the console on right here. Get the pumps going. I'd probably recommend maybe getting a machine gun down over there as well. We'll go ahead and knock out the console real fast. Go ahead and fuel it up. SSD hatch was not. Call down the SSD and then insert it into the hatch. So we're going to have to call down the SSD. Where's the SSD at? Oh, you call it from over there. Okay. Normally it adds like another thing that you can do. Then we're going to take this. We're going to tune it. It looks like it's actually mostly tuned already. So there we go. Signal strike's ready to go. We got one of the easy mini games right there, so it's not going to be that big of a problem. Looks like we've secured the area. Let's go ahead and knock that out. Tower's been activated, so now we actually have communication with the flyboys up above, who you can see right there, for the evacuation effort. There are a number of different mission types as of right now, and sub-objectives are mostly like bug nests, illegal broadcasts, stuff like that. However, you'll be destroying bug nests, you'll be destroying eggs, you'll be rescuing people, you will be pumping oil, you will be doing geological surveys. It feels like there's a good variety of both enemies, weapons, and also objectives for you to play around with, such that you can dump a lot of hours into this title. It can really get away from you. Like I said, the game's been out for 1 day and I've played 12 hours already, so it kind of is what it is. Called in a machine gun right there. Do I need to rearm? I don't think I need to rearm or anything like that. I think I'm pretty much good. While I'm not calling in airstrikes, I'm going to tell my airstrikes to resupply. That's going to take about 2.5 minutes, and then we'll get 4 more of them. We got a bug nest over here that needs to be dealt with, but it looks like B3 and D2 are already on it. The game does come with voice chat. It doesn't seem like many people use it. It's also crossplay enabled, just in case you're interested in getting lobbies pretty fast. But I've had crossplay disabled, and I haven't had any problems getting lobbies so far. It's been near instantaneous. There were some launch day problems, so on release day, the lobbies were not working, so it was mostly playing solo. Get him out of the way right there. SMG is not the most effective weapon for wiping out big dog bugs. We've got a charger over there, which is actually kind of an issue. See, I'm just going to fire wildly into that batch over there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get a resupply over here. Maybe help out a little bit with the old P90. Oh, orbital airburst coming in. Get out of the way. Is the airburst over? All right, airburst is over. And I would say that so far, despite one little thing, I'm pretty happy with the game. And we'll talk about that one little thing in like 8 to 10 minutes when the video is coming to a close, because there's a little bit of speech that goes along with it, or a little bit of a diatribe that goes along with it to kind of address some concerns about the game using Game Guard, which is an anti-cheat that comes along with this game that's had a number of controversies over the last couple of years when it comes to, you know, Undecember and games like that. So we'll talk about that in a bit, but let's just play the game for right now. It looks like we're about ready to go rescue some civilians. B3's got it tagged. We got a big guy over here, though. I'm going to try to whittle off the little guys, at least, that are escorting him. Oof. Got knocked by an explosion. He's going to try. These are destructible environments, by the way. All these buildings come down. So buildings, fences, towers, all of those things can be knocked over by airstrikes and also the bugs. If you're using the jump pack like I am, there has been a little bit of a learning curve. Learning what things you can get on top of that the bugs can't destroy, and what things you get on top of and they basically collapse with very, very little fanfare on top of you, and then you die horribly. I like the jump pack because I think it's really, really skill-based, and it gives you a mobility option that everybody else doesn't get. The enemies do have sweet spots on them. You do want to aim for those sweet spots. Was this a bug nest over here? I was going to say, your character can't catch on fire, so stay away from fire. The game does have a pitch dodge like that right there that you can use. A lot of things do not affect you when you're prone, thus encouraging you to actually hit the deck a lot of the time as a last measure to save yourself when things are going nutty and crazy. I think I want to go to blue. Let's wipe out this nest. It's a sub-objective, and we get paid for it, so we're already in the neighborhood. We might as well do the job that we're here to do. All right, let's try to throw that out there. Right on the nose. And down go a number of enemies. We no longer have to deal with them. Let's go check this facility. See if it's got anything that we can recover for democracy. Dropped him right there real fast. The gunplay, as you can see, is very, very tactile. It feels great. Like, the gunplay was actually shocking to me in how good that it felt. Looks like we've got some nades, we've got some stims, and we've got a sample. Okay, I don't need the other stuff, but I do definitely need the samples. There's always more upgrades to be got. To give you some idea why you want samples, the last time I gathered enough samples, I unlocked, like, recoilless rifles, giant laser cannons, Tesla coils. I haven't actually gotten those things purchased yet, but it did unlock the ability to purchase them, and so there are some pretty serious goodies in this game that you can run into when you're gathering your samples up and making sure that you're unlocking things. And that's entirely an aside from the goodies that you get just in terms of upgrades, like you now have more health, you now have more ammo, you know, you now have a faster recharge time for your cooldowns. And so you definitely want to collect those when you can. The stipulation there is that when you die, the samples drop and someone else needs to pick them up. I will probably... This may be a waste of my machine gun, but I don't know what's going to happen when I pop these little bugs right here. I don't know if there's going to be more of them. If nothing else, it'll just run Overwatch for me while I go into the facility. Maybe keep them thinned out. Looks like this is an aggro area. I don't see any ammo or anything around, but it sounds like my team is in some pretty hot fighting. That's okay. The AI can't focus on me while it's focused on them, so sometimes it's good to have kind of like a scout that's running around grabbing all the like optional teammate things and, you know, getting the stuff that allows your teammates to get upgrades. This facility appears to be pretty useless, though, so I don't think there's too much over here. Let's get back into the fray. We don't want anybody to accuse us of being a traitor to democracy and aiding the enemy with our absence. Resupply is on its way in. There are also support things you can do in this game. So you can have a backpack that allows you to resupply people with weaponry. So there's a backpack that loads these inside of it, and you can see it represented on your character's backpack, and then you can dole out the ammo. You can also pick up the loose ammo packs, I think, that are around the map in order to make resupplies less frequent instead of leaving them behind. There's a backpack that allows you to carry ammo for someone that has a rocket launcher or a machine gun or something like that so that you can aid with their reloads. I'm going to get up on the roof ski over here and see what we can do. So we've got a charger right there. Hopefully this building can't fall down. I'm about to learn the hard way if it can. Yay or nay? Hard to say. Oh. Airstrike's coming in. Get out of the way. Foof. For whatever reason, I have like a really strong aversion to dying in this game. I like the prestige of having it made it through a mission, which for your average heck, your heck descender has to survive a few missions before he becomes like a full-on Helldiver, And I'd actually like to see them weaponize that. Like if you survive for a couple, maybe it might make people toxic, so it might be a bad idea. But it would be cool to get like rolling bonuses for back-to-back mission completions on the same Helldiver without dying. But then again, that might kind of ruin the everyone is expendable, don't worry about it when you get TK'd attitude that the game kind of has. He's not dead. I shot him a lot and he's still not dead. Your characters do get covered with blood. They do get covered with viscera and gore and stuff like that. It washes off if you go in water. The game is full of little details like that, or if you get beat up and heal, your cape gets torn up the longer you survive. So there are little fun details that they've added to the game to kind of raise that immersion. I like this SMG. At the beginning of the mission, I said I wasn't a big fan, but I'm kind of like turning a corner on it. When this thing burps on you, you die, period. Our job now is to find all of the civilians that are locked up inside these little bunkers right here, and then escort them to safety without them becoming bug chow. Got a couple bugs coming in that way. Might not be the worst idea. We got a breach. Okay. Put down the sentry right there. Ah, Jesus. Somebody orbital striked my sentry the second that I put it in. Well. Bye, Gatling gun. You are my friend. But now, you rest with the angels. The angels of democracy. Man, big guy got flipped. Normally those big guys are kind of a problem. You can also, like, vault up on these guys. You actually have to climb over them. Like, they have a persistence in the world. So they'll end up stacking up and being kind of like sandbags almost if you're in a big fight for too long. We got that bay open right there. Let's run some of these civilians back. Get them out of here. In all honesty, this game is kind of everything that I was hoping the Starship Troopers game would be. Alas. Somebody grab them samples right there. They got a resupply pack right there as well. I'm just going to, like, be a gremlin here, and I'm going to pick it up and take one ammo out of it, and then also put my jump pack back on, because there's no ammo around here. You got to kind of, like, fan the trigger on this bad boy. It kills too fast. All right. We've got another evac over here. I'll go ahead and touch it real quick. My machine gun still got a minute till it comes back up. Let's get these guys out of here. I hate that bloom effect that those lights put on everything. So I like obsessively shoot all the lights when I could just turn off all the bloom, and I just haven't done it yet. Maybe someday. F's up for the homie. All right, we got 4 more civilians. We got to get the hell out of here. Are they still going to come out of that same bay? I don't know how much of this is like procedural when it comes to the base building or whatever. I haven't been able to lock it down. I can definitely tell you I have not played 2 maps in a row that felt like the same map, basically. It looks like they're all coming out of here. Normally there's like 4 or 5 of these doors, and you got to keep everybody together while you run point and protect these guys as they get to the bunker. Hopefully they're holding a solid line over here, and there's not a charger that's about to greet me and touch my face. Oh, look at that. We overachieved. Good for us. Now, once the priority mission is done, we are going to have to go to evac, which is actually, we got to hump it a little bit. We're going to have to hit the ground and do that infantryman's walk in order to get over there. So let's go ahead and hit it, I guess. Vault our way on out of here. Vaulting does feel usually pretty good. I have been using the jump pack a lot to get to places where the developers didn't intend. There haven't been any bugs or problems. I mean, there's been bugs, but there haven't been problems. The screeching, belching, try to murder you kind of bugs, I guess. Sentry's back on up. Is there anything down in that pit? Oh, yeah, your Helldivers can't swim. Don't go in water. You die catastrophically quickly from swimming in this game. They're still fighting over there. Okay, well, if they want to hold the line while the rest of us get to evac and call in the Valkyrie, then hey, it is what it is. I've been referring to everything in this game in Warhammer 40k terms because it's basically a Warhammer 40k open world shooter. We'll go ahead and reinforce real fast. You do have a limited number of reinforcements. They're in the top left corner. You can see that we can respawn 12 times. It does regenerate as time goes along. On the top right, you can see how long we have to get the entire mission done. Once you get that timer down to 0, it force fails your mission and forces you to go to evac. If you miss the evac, you die. You also can't call in any of your stratagems, which you see on screen right here once it gets to that point. Let's go ahead and get on our way. I think I can jump the river right here. Everybody else can't jump the river, but this is why I equip a jump pack, is because being blocked off by rivers was driving me crazy. So our teammate just VoIP'd and said that he wants us to come back because he wants to 100% the map for achievements and stuff. So, fair enough. I decided to go ahead and pull an about face, and we'll go assist him since it seems like it's a big deal to him. We'll go ahead and knock out some enemies over here. We do have a charger to deal with, which is kind of unfortunate. Is he going to show me that booty hole? Shake that ass for me. Said shoot that ass for me. Come on, girl, shoot that ass for me. These guys right here, unholy damage soaks if you don't have tools to get rid of them. I don't know. Maybe a machine gun in this situation is not a good idea. I'll put it down over here. Well, I mean, Airburst took care of him. Go ahead and let him have it, little machine gun. Unfortunately, you can see his body bouncing bullets right now. It's sort of become a barricade.
Okay, we finished. We can go.
Did he get the... Is the nest down? No, they got my turret already. The AI in this game is actually pretty smart. It will go after turrets and things if those turrets are causing like a lot of outstanding losses. We're sitting on 1 mag right now, which is a little bit unfortunate because we got a lot of things that require a lot of mags. Go ahead and get a resupply going. We'll put it back in a little safe area over here. I got snared, unfortunately, by a mob. I guess he's calling off the assault on the nest over there. It may be a little bit too much for us to handle. Put the eagle out real fast. Hopefully that doesn't get B3. Oh, Christ. I don't know if we got anybody with that eagle, but I hope we got somebody with that eagle. I'm going to double dip, even though it's kind of an asshole move. Just because it looks like our position's falling right now, so... Alright, let's get up and out of here. You do move slower in snowbanks and things. There are environmental effects so far. What I've seen, there's kind of like an alpine environment that looks kind of like the Sierra Nevadas. There's been a jungle fight, which I really, really liked. It gave me big Katachan vibes. But there's also the snow level, and hopefully they'll be rolling out more. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room here that I was alluding to earlier that I think is going to make a lot of people balk at the prospect of purchasing the game. Hopefully I can use this as an opportunity to educate and just make sure that everybody that participates in this game knows what they're getting into. People have been very upset about Helldivers 2 using End Protect Game Guard. It's stirred up controversy lately for being a very permissions-intensive anti-cheat. People throw the word root level around or kernel level around, so I wanted to talk briefly about that, what that means, so that you can go in with a clear head. Effectively, root level access means that the program has infinite access, above administrator privileges on your computer to access anything. This is very, very useful for an anti-cheat because many hacks will obfuscate how they work inside the hardware or the software level of your PC to get around the host anti-cheat that exists. And your anti-cheat having access to your memory, your files, your hardware, it allows them to catch trickier hacks that hide in the weeds. However, this is also a security concern for the end user, not because, in my opinion, NProtect is going to fry your GPU or reduce your memory to slag, but it has access to do that, and you will find posts from people that inexplicably have their fans running at ridiculous rates while playing games like this. It may just be a performance issue, but it has the access to do that. So the issue here is one of security. I personally don't think that GameGuard is going to fry your PC. It would be the end of them as a company. And conversely to what the internet thinks, I don't think companies intentionally run themselves into the ground making bad calls. Instead, as a former IT guy, my concern comes to what if their headquarters gets hacked and distributes a patch or something nasty that now has access to every single thing on every single computer it's now installed on. I guess you could be concerned about that with any software, but it does have that level of invasive permissions where, while unlikely, it is a concern. You can see that concern all over the Steam forums right now. NProtect also has a history of being difficult to remove. So some people have put together tools that do it fast, but I don't trust some rando on the internet's executable. I learned that lesson the hard way in the December of 2022. So before you go in, I would highly recommend that you make sure you're familiar with how to remove NProtect after uninstalling the game, just in case. It looks like the company themselves made a tool since the last time I had GameGuard too. I dug around a little bit outside of the recording to see if NProtect stays open after you close the game, and it looks like it loads and unloads itself only when the game is open. I was unable to find a thread in my processes that references it when the game is closed, so that makes me feel a little bit better about it, but still, anytime you install anything with a DRM, especially if the platform it's hosted on itself already is DRM to begin with, you should keep yourself informed. I would much prefer they use a different anti-cheat that maybe, is not so invasive, but it is what it is. You've now been told of that, so you can make up your mind. Matchmaking can also be a little bit spotty. You may have to, wait it out. It's release week, so the servers are overloaded, and sometimes strange things happen. I have had problems getting game from time to time, but usually it functions okay. Now that we've got that nasty business out of the way, let's head on back to the Destroyer, and let's talk about progression here so that you can see the density of content and decide whether or not $40 is something that you wanted to spend on this title. I do feel like the mission outros should be skippable. You should be able to get through them faster, I guess. They take up a lot of time, but I'm not convinced that they're not actually a hidden loading screen. All right, so on board our Destroyer here, let's start out with acquisitions. So you've got the free track right here with things you can unlock, whether it be cosmetics or weapons or other goodies like that. Everybody gets this. If you go back by one, this is the paid track. It's only got 3 pages. It's got a couple of interesting weapons in there, like incendiary shotguns, or it's got the elemental weapons inside of it, which I think is tilting some people. The prices are right over here for the cash shop. I've earned about $5 worth just playing for one day. It's kind of random, though. I got the 150, so I got 200 from the free track, and then I got about 150 from just playing the game myself and finding them in the mission map inside those pods that we got the medals out of. And so there's their store right there. They also have a rotating FOMO cash shop right here where they have limited time offers on skins that may or may not come up again. So that's one of those things. I'd prefer to see these kinds of gacha mechanics not really be in the game. I'm somewhat able to stomach the paid track over here having some cool weapons locked inside of it due to the fact that you can earn the credits in-game. But this right here is mobile game tactics right here where they rotate the cash shop. I gave Darktide a bunch of shit for it, so I have to give this game a bunch of shit for it too. On top of that, you have acquisitions. Or I'm sorry, not acquisitions. Over here, you have your ship management terminal. This will allow you to buy new stratagems, which are those things like the airstrikes that we were calling in using the money that you get inside of missions, not the real cash shop. There's also, you can upgrade your ships over here once you have enough supplies of samples to unlock new batches of weapons and to unlock more ammo capacity and to unlock cooldown reductions and things of that nature. It takes a little while to get this stuff because people pretty frequently drop them when they die. Over here, you can customize your character and change your loadout. You can change what your character looks like. You can make it so the drop-in is always male or always female if that's what you prefer. There's boosters over here. This is one of the permanent upgrades that I got that makes it so that I spawn in with only ammo, with like full ammo instead of starting out with reduced ammo. But by and large, I'm really impressed with the game. I thought the game was going to be... They didn't distribute keys, and that's usually a bad sign. They didn't give out review keys or whatever, and so it's usually a bad sign. But the game is actually really, really good. It's a fantastic game if you can stomach some of the things that I've brought up here. So my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were taking an in-depth look at Helldivers 2 to help you decide whether or not you want to purchase the game. In my opinion, I'm somewhat okay with their monetization. I have areas that I don't like the rotating FOMO cosmetics or whatever. But the fact that you can get the money in mission is kind of like, okay, that sort of makes the bitter pill go down a little bit better, I guess. I can't decide if that's them buying me off or not. And then End Protect. That's the big thing that I think a lot of people with GameGuard are going to have a problem with, because root level access, I think, is kind of a buzzword that's thrown around a lot. But with all buzzwords and all things that are thrown around a lot, there are kernels of truth in there. I didn't mean for that to be punny. It just is what it is. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Take care. That's all I got for you. Bye, folks.